There's a fruit sitting in your kitchen right now that you've probably never questioned. But in my 13 years working with men's health, I've watched this one so-called healthy food quietly interfere with hormone balance, compromise vascular health, and undermine the physical confidence of men over 60. Most of my patients are shocked when I bring it up, because everything they've read tells them it's good for them. I'm Dr. Laura, and my clinical focus for over a decade has been helping aging men understand what's really happening inside their bodies. One of the most consistent patterns I've seen is this. When men over 60 start eating with hormonal and cardiovascular awareness, their bodies respond faster than they expect. Here's what most people aren't told. Not every fruit supports the aging male body. Some fruits elevate estrogen, spike insulin, and suppress nitric oxide, the compound your vascular system depends on for healthy circulation and physical responsiveness. On the other side, there are 4 fruits that consistently support blood flow, hormone balance, and sustained energy in my male patients. In this video, I'll walk you through both lists, the 4 fruits to minimize after 60, and the 4 I personally recommend in my clinic. Stay until the end, because the final fruit I share has shown remarkable results for men dealing with years of circulatory and hormonal decline. If you're a man over 60 who's serious about restoring energy, vascular health, and overall vitality, subscribe and hit the bell. I post practical, science-backed content made specifically for you. If this topic is relevant to your health journey, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. It helps me understand what you need most. Let's start with the first fruit to reconsider. Grapes, a hidden hormonal disruptor. Grapes are widely considered a health food. They're rich in antioxidants, easy to snack on, and associated with heart health. But for men over 60, there's a layer to this fruit that most doctors don't discuss in a routine appointment. Commercially grown grapes are among the most heavily pesticide-treated crops in agriculture. Unless certified organic, they often carry residues from synthetic compounds classified as xenoestrogens, chemicals that mimic estrogen in the male body. When these compounds accumulate, they compete with your natural testosterone. Over time, this hormonal interference can contribute to reduced libido, increased abdominal fat, prostate discomfort, and weakened vascular responsiveness. Research has linked pesticide residues specifically found on grapes to endocrine disruption and reduced reproductive hormone markers in aging men. One of my patients, I'll call him Alan, 67 DI, had been eating 2 large handfuls of non-organic grapes daily, believing they were supporting his blood pressure. When we removed them and introduced lower estrogen fruit alternatives, he reported improved morning vitality within 3 weeks, along with better sleep and more sustained daily energy. Grapes aren't inherently harmful, but for men with already declining testosterone levels, even subtle hormonal disruption matters. I advise minimizing them unless they're certified organic and consumed in small amounts. And grape juice? Avoid it entirely. It delivers a concentrated hit of sugar and pesticide residues with none of the fiber that would otherwise slow absorption. Canned fruit cocktails, the sugar trap in disguise. Soft, colorful, easy to eat, canned fruit cups have become a breakfast staple for many men over 60, often consumed alongside morning medications without a second thought. They feel like a safe, gentle choice. But what's actually inside those cans is working against your hormonal and vascular health in ways you can't see. The problem isn't just the fruit, it's what the fruit is preserved in. Most canned fruit is packed in high fructose corn syrup or concentrated juice, both of which are rapidly absorbed simple sugars. When these hit your bloodstream, especially on an empty stomach, they trigger an insulin spike that suppresses testosterone and initiates an inflammatory response in your arterial walls. This also causes a drop in nitric oxide, the compound essential for healthy vascular function and physical responsiveness in men. High fructose corn syrup specifically has been associated with fatty liver accumulation, elevated estrogen production, and suppressed testosterone output. My patient Raymond, 72, had eaten fruit cocktails daily for over a decade. He came to me with persistent fatigue, mental fog, and a complete loss of physical drive. Within weeks of eliminating those cups and replacing them with fresh, low glycemic fruits, his energy began returning, and his interest in intimacy gradually followed. Even light syrup or no sugar added versions are misleading. The fruit itself has been sitting in a sealed can for months, often bleached, stripped of fiber, and treated with preservatives. It's not a health food. It's a convenience food with hormonal consequences. Bananas, not always the man fuel. They're made out to be. Bananas are practically synonymous with healthy snacking. They're soft, portable, and rich in potassium. But for men over 60 dealing with hormonal decline, low energy, or vascular issues, bananas, particularly the overripe sweet variety most people prefer, can quietly disrupt the chemistry your body depends on. The primary concern is glycemic load. Ripe bananas deliver fast-absorbing simple sugars that cause a sharp insulin spike. When insulin rises repeatedly throughout the day, testosterone tends to decline in response. Over time, these glucose surges can contribute to insulin resistance, metabolic sluggishness, and weight gain around the midsection, all of which directly compromise healthy vascular function and physical responsiveness. There's a second mechanism worth noting. Bananas are high in tryptophan and influence serotonin production. While serotonin is vital for mood regulation, excess serotonin activity, particularly in the morning or before physical activity, can produce emotional flatness, mental fog, and reduced drive. Several of my patients reported feeling sluggish and emotionally disengaged after banana-heavy breakfasts, which often translated into lower motivation and physical responsiveness throughout the day. Not every man will react this way, but if you're over 60 and eating bananas daily while noticing reduced drive, energy crashes, or sluggish mornings, it's worth eliminating them for a few weeks and observing what changes. Dried fruits, concentrated sugar with hidden consequences. Dates, raisins, figs. Many men over 60 reach for these as a healthier alternative to processed sweets. They feel natural, portable, and nutritious. But from a hormonal standpoint, dried fruits are one of the most deceptive foods aging men can consume regularly. The core issue is sugar concentration. When fruit is dehydrated, the water content disappears, but the sugar stays and intensifies. A single cup of raisins contains more sugar than a standard can of soda, and because the fiber has been significantly reduced through processing, that sugar enters your bloodstream rapidly. The result? Insulin spikes, testosterone suppression, and disrupted blood sugar regulation. Commercially packaged dried fruits compound the problem. Most are coated in vegetable oils to prevent clumping and treated with sulfites to preserve color. These additives may interfere with zinc absorption, and zinc is one of the most critical minerals for testosterone production, reproductive health, and vascular strength in men. I've had patients snack on dates before bed thinking they were making a clean, smart choice. What they didn't realize is that those dates were elevating blood sugar throughout the night, blunting growth hormone release during sleep, which is precisely when testosterone recovery should be happening. Dried fruits may taste wholesome, but for aging men with hormonal and vascular concerns, they often cause quiet, cumulative damage that shows up gradually. Pomegranate, the circulation powerhouse. If I could recommend one fruit universally to every man over 60 in my practice, it would be pomegranate. The research behind it is genuinely impressive, and in my clinical experience, the results patients report are consistent and meaningful. Pomegranate is rich in punicalagins, plant antioxidants with a documented ability to reduce oxidative stress and support arterial health. Why does this matter for men? Because healthy circulation is the foundation of physical responsiveness. Pomegranate has been shown in peer-reviewed studies to increase nitric oxide bioavailability, relax blood vessel walls, and support reliable vascular performance. In one notable clinical trial, men who consumed pomegranate juice daily showed measurable improvements in erectile function scores and a statistically significant rise in salivary testosterone after just a few weeks. These aren't superficial changes. They reflect genuine hormonal and vascular improvement. I've had men walk into my clinic convinced their best physical years were behind them. After cleaning up their diet and adding real pomegranate, either half a cup of seeds or a small glass of 100% pure juice with no added sugar, many reported firmer mornings, more sustained energy, and a renewed sense of physical confidence within 30 days. Eat the fresh seeds, Add them to a morning smoothie or drink unsweetened juice. Either way, this fruit earns its place at the top of my recommendation list. Kiwi, the underestimated testosterone ally. Kiwi rarely gets the attention it deserves in men's health conversations, but in my clinic, it's become one of my most consistently recommended foods for hormonal support in men over 60. The foundation of kiwi's value is its exceptional vitamin C content, often exceeding that of oranges per gram. Vitamin C plays a direct role in protecting Leydig cells in the testes from oxidative damage. These are the cells responsible for testosterone production. When they stay healthy and intact, your hormonal output remains stronger for longer. Kiwi also contains actinidin, a natural enzyme that enhances digestive function and nutrient absorption. This is particularly relevant for aging men because even a well-intentioned diet fails to deliver results if absorption is compromised. Actinidin helps ensure that zinc and magnesium, both critical for male hormonal health, actually reach the bloodstream in usable form. Perhaps most clinically interesting is kiwi's effect on cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone that directly competes with testosterone. When one goes up, the other tends to go down. Studies, including research published out of Japan, found that men eating 2 kiwis daily for several weeks experienced lower blood pressure, better sleep quality, and improved emotional well-being. All of these are prerequisites for restored physical vitality. I recommend eating the whole fruit, skin included. The skin is edible, fiber-rich, and nutritionally dense. If that's not appealing, the flesh alone provides substantial benefit. Organic is ideal. Watermelon, nature's vascular support. Watermelon is far more than a summer snack. For men over 60 dealing with circulatory decline, it's one of the most accessible and effective natural tools available. The key is L-citrulline, an amino acid found in high concentrations in watermelon, particularly in the white rind just beneath the outer skin. Once inside the body, L-citrulline converts to L-arginine, which then stimulates nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide signals blood vessel walls to relax and expand, allowing for improved circulation throughout the body, including to tissues directly involved in male sexual response. Unlike pharmaceutical interventions that force this process through mechanism pathways that carry cardiovascular risks, watermelon works with your body's own biochemistry gently and safely. Several of my patients in their late 60s and 70s who incorporated fresh watermelon daily, particularly on an empty stomach, reported noticeably firmer morning erections, improved stamina, and better daytime energy within a few weeks. For maximum benefit, eat fresh slices rather than store-bought juice, which typically contains added sugar. If you prefer a drink, blend it fresh and include the white rind. Some of my patients add ginger or fresh lemon for an added anti-inflammatory effect. The goal isn't a single outcome, it's building lasting vascular health over time, and watermelon supports that consistently. Blueberries, the cellular defense for aging men. Small, low-calorie, and easy to overlook, blueberries are arguably one of the most protective foods available to men over 60. Their value comes from anthocyanins, a class of plant compounds with well-documented antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. As men age, oxidative stress becomes one of the primary drivers of hormonal and vascular decline. It damages testosterone-producing cells, weakens arterial walls, and dulls nerve sensitivity. Blueberries work systemically to neutralize free radicals and restore a more favorable cellular environment for hormone production and vascular function. In practical terms, stronger circulation, faster physical recovery, and sharper mental clarity. Multiple peer-reviewed studies have linked regular blueberry consumption to improved insulin sensitivity, reduced neuroinflammation, and enhanced working memory. These cognitive benefits tie directly to a man's overall sense of confidence, motivation, and emotional engagement, all of which influence intimacy and quality of life. I recommend starting the morning with half a cup of fresh blueberries. Add them to Greek yogurt, blend them into a smoothie, or eat them plain. Patients who make this a consistent habit often report noticeable improvements in mental sharpness and physical drive within 30 to 60 days. Blueberries are also low glycemic and high in fiber, which means they help stabilize blood sugar throughout the day, protecting testosterone from the suppressive effect of insulin spikes and reducing the mood fluctuations that can quietly interfere with intimacy. Bringing it all together. The choices you make at the grocery store have a direct biological impact on your hormonal health, your vascular function, and your overall vitality as a man over 60. Grapes, canned fruit cocktails, bananas, and dried fruits, while they appear harmless, can quietly work against testosterone and healthy circulation when consumed regularly. Pomegranate, kiwi, watermelon, and blueberries, by contrast, support the exact biological systems that keep aging men feeling energized, physically capable, and confident. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Consistency with small, deliberate changes is what produces lasting results. Your body at 60, 65, even 70 still has the capacity to respond and recover. Give it the nutritional support it needs, and it will.